Hi, my name is Natalie Nunez, and I am pursuing a career in web development and technology. First, I wanted to take the time to personally thank the staff at LearningFuze and Startup Grind in Irvine for putting in such time and dedication to help people like myself in pursuing our careers and our endeavors. It's really appreciated, so I wanted to take the time to say thank you. But now getting into what is it that excites me about working in technology? Well, there's so many exciting reasons as to why one would want to work in technology. But personally, what excites me the most is growth, upgrades, and changes that I can anticipate to see within myself as well as the people that I work with. So, just to give a little bit of background, when I first had this curiosity and this interest in coding and technology, I was actually met with a lot of negative comments. I was told things like, that just doesn't fit your personality, or you won't like sitting behind a computer all day. And simply, people would say it will just be too difficult for you to learn. While this was extremely discouraging, I still put in the time to dedicate myself to self study and self discipline. And over time, I was able to prove to those people within small ways that I actually was capable. However, more than proving to those people, there was actually one person who I needed to prove my capabilities to constantly. And that person ended up being myself. I doubted and underestimated myself from the very beginning. I told myself things like, my brain just doesn't work that way. I'm not smart enough to pick these things up. I just will never understand that, and I will never go into technology. However, like I said in the beginning, that curiosity peaked within my heart, and I had, thankfully, supportive and encouraging people by my side who pushed me to at least go seek what that curiosity was. And over time, I actually found that effort and grit ended up being my strongest weapons. So, just to share a couple funny stories as I was learning in the very beginning. I remember seeing a picture that had a CSS selector that was selecting an HTML element with the ID Tower of Pisa, and it was changing the font style to italic. So, for those who understand, it's a silly, kind of a silly thing that's going on here, but I thought that was so funny when I first read it. And I knew in that moment there was no turning back. And just things that were silly like that, or even when I was solving algorithms that I previously would look at like a foreign language or something impossible that I will never understand, the fact that I was able to solve them was such an empowering, invigorating feeling, which I'm sure most people experience as they're learning for the first time, that they really can do this and that they understand it. So I know these stories might sound silly and might not seem too unique or too special in terms of what a novice coder would experience. However, to me, they personally showed me and proved to be evidence that there is nothing that I can't do, that I really can learn new things constantly. So, what is it, simply put, that is so exciting to me about working in technology is constantly breaking down boundaries that we put up for ourselves, constantly overcoming and surpassing these boundaries. Just the fact that there's really no limit to what we can do as people is such an exciting thing. And that's what I've been able to see through web development and through technology. So for that reason, that is what really excites me to be able to work in that field. But with all of that being said, then, what is the technology that I cannot live without? Well, as expected, probably, it would be my phone and my laptop. I know I can't choose two, but if I had to, it would be my phone and my laptop. And the reason being is because as time had passed and I started studying more coding and more technological things, I saw that the way I thought had changed. The way that I think about things changed. I noticed that I started to Google, how does this thing work? Or how does this work in the world? And what does this mean? Meaning, I became more curious about the way that things work and the way that things function. And the fact that I have a laptop and a phone at my dispense to gain more knowledge is something that I couldn't live without. It's amazing that not just the technological things like JavaScript or Python, but even more, the fact that we have the world at our fingertips is so amazing. Like I really could just be learning JavaScript in one window and jump to another window and start practicing my Korean. So that is one of the biggest reasons why I would say my phone and my laptop. but more than just gaining knowledge, they're also extremely important to me because they allow me to connect to the people that I love. Especially in this pandemic era that we're living in, it's so important to me that I'm able to text, call, even Zoom or FaceTime the people that I love. So I am extremely grateful for the immense amount of doors that are open because of technology. And I'm equally excited to really jump into this world of tech. So once again, thank you so much for listening to me and for your consideration.